is. This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live for first of probably two streams tonight. I'm going to try to squeeze in both my Smackdown review and my SummerSlam preview and predictions because of the crazy schedule this weekend, and I do have a big project to take care of during the day tomorrow. So because of that, tonight I want to squeeze in both my SmackDown review and my SummerSlam preview and predictions. Tomorrow, of course, will be NXT TakeOver 30, as well as two live reactions. First one, of course, is to the match, to the Fatal 5-Way ladder match. And also, of course, we are going to have the, the NXT Championship match will get live reactions. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do my AEW Dynamite review or catch up on that, since that's taking place at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Yet we do have the TakeOver 30 starting at 7, and that's going to take preference over Dynamite this week. So that show will come. I will also, I'm going to attempt it. Can't promise I will get them done. I want to do Payback card predictions. Only because I like the Payback graphics. Well, the ones that WWE used to do that I try my best to duplicate every time Payback comes around. So because of that, I want to attempt predictions for Payback. I had some ideas after watching SmackDown tonight. So that's just kind of like my rundown for the weekend. Let's talk about SmackDown tonight. It's the first time in a while I'm not going to be saying, took place at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. It did not. This time, we are at the ThunderDome at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. The first night of the ThunderDome. What are my thoughts on the ThunderDome? Very neat, very creative, a lot of effort into that stage presentation, and just, state-of-the-art, aesthetically awesome looking set they have going for this new virtual audience that we're doing. Well, as far as, visually, it's awesome. I would say, though, that I do think there's just a tad bit too much light. They could probably tone down the lights just a little bit. Just a teensy-weensy bit, I would say. The thing that I don't like about it, though, is the audience. There was obviously a piped-in crowd for the show. There was not many people reacting to it. And I could say, do you blame them? If this was WWE's first show that they have shown in a while, I'm pretty sure we would have gotten much better reactions. But the reactions we're getting, just people sitting there, just watching, as if I'm sitting here listening to a conversation, and it's just like sitting there, and they just seem bored. So the piped-in audience, I didn't like that. The one downfall, I mean, the set, the imagery, the visuality of that, of this ThunderDome is awesome. The atmosphere, it needs work. Especially, if these fans are probably super bored by this product, and especially like SmackDown, it's been a super lifeless show since going to Fox, I'd say, or for quite a long time. It's been a super lifeless show. So do you kind of blame the fans for looking bored in the background? That's the part that's going to hurt the ThunderDome. It's the fact that now that you don't have people, reacting and might be micromanaged, the crowds that Vince would, you have these noises. And of course, they booed somebody that, even though they're a heel, I don't think they should have been booed tonight. Well, yet. It should not have been booed yet. Immediately. Until after the promo this person cut. So that's my thoughts on the ThunderDome. I'd definitely be interested to hear your thoughts on the ThunderDome, the setup, the crowd, and whatnot, and we'll go from there. As far as SmackDown goes tonight, not much really happened. It was kind of a boring show. A little all over the place, a little back and forth on what's going to happen really with this and what's not going to happen. So, I wouldn't say it was a clean show. I would say it was a kind of an inconsistent type show. We, of course, continue to get, the attacks from Retribution. A decent chunk of the show was focused on the match between Braun Strowman and The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, at SummerSlam that they've clearly overproduced. And then we had like a little bit of like a back and forth, confusion as to what is going on with the Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville storyline after what happened this week to the both of them, especially Sonya, which we'll get to that. So, a very back and forth show with, once again, a lot of things to me it just didn't make sense. So, we'll roll into it, we'll talk about it, and then I'll take a brief break, then I'll be back up here to talk about SummerSlam, because I wanted to make sure there was no more matches being added to SummerSlam. I feel like anything we got set up tonight has not been announced for SummerSlam. We're getting that Payback. I'm going to say it right now. Again, if I do get to do card predictions for Payback, which if I do, they would have, to me, I would want them done before Raw on Monday. If I don't have them done by Raw on Monday, I'm scrapping it. But I want to try again, because I actually always liked the old Payback graphics they had, and every time I did them, and I think the one year I did, the last time we had Payback, I think I just about matched them. I was very happy with those graphics, so I want to take another stab with them and see what I can do. So, yeah. So, let's get into the show. Live chat. Elite Squad thought the audience was shit. I couldn't agree more. Dakota, what's up? It's been a while, Dakota. Jeff deserved it, even though he kind of cheated. Exactly, that is true. I mean, it was kind of a way to, in some ways protect them both and protect AJ and kind of keep the feud continuing. So it was acceptable. I thought, on my end. So we'll roll into it. And also, again, I'm trying to get the polls back on Twitter. If you have not done so yet, make sure to follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93 and participate in my poll. What grade would you give this episode of SmackDown, or also the ThunderDome debut? A, B, C, D, or lower? Right now, we got some pretty high grades and whatnot. So, I guess we'll see how it's like at the end. So, let's start off this review. We opened up with, the theme song and an overlook of the ThunderDome. The ThunderDome! Since, it's the first time us seeing it live. And then we have Vince McMahon himself in the ring to welcome us to SmackDown. And I thought we would go on more and more and more and just hear him just brag about the ThunderDome. And basically say whatever he wants to say, just so you know, prove how full he is of his ego once again. Well, then, you got my hopes up, WWE. The lights begin to go out. And I am just like, whoa. Are we going to get what I'm thinking? Is The Fiend going to get payback on Vince McMahon for, having Goldberg squash him and basically taking away some of his momentum? But then they actually have the Fiend's theme music playing as he comes out and makes his entrance. He gets into the ring and he just stares down Mr. McMahon. They try to, walk around each other, it doesn't work. But then it gets cut off because the choo-choo train among men, Braun Strowman, comes out Mr. McMahon escapes, and basically they stare each other down until Retribution, which, another question again, how many more members of Retribution is there going to be? Where's it going to be? Is it going to be a 20-on-20 Survivor Series elimination match or something, Survivor Series, or something just ridiculous? Again, it's just not going to make any sense at this point. So Retribution surrounds the ring, and I'm like, okay, are we basically going to get a beatdown between Retribution and then Braun Strowman and the Fiend Bray Wyatt will, wreak havoc with them or something like that? Sounds cool. Except the Fiend disappeared, and Braun Strowman was left all to himself, and all members of Retribution started beating down on him. Until the rest of the SmackDown roster came out and made the save and took out Retribution. But Strowman then takes out a couple people angry, rips his shirt off, and then we go to break. So, again, the question is Braun Strowman a face or a heel? I think he just needs to be a heel again. I just really think he does. He's been coming across as a heel the past couple weeks, especially with the stuff he's with Alexa. Yes, the Fiend is getting into his head, but to me, again, this whole feud, which I'll talk about again in my SummerSlam predictions, has been super overproduced. And it started off pretty good, I gotta say. But then once we got to the swamp stuff, again, it just teetered down. And this build with sort of match with Braun and the Fiend, I'm just like, I don't care. I just want the belt back on Bray Wyatt where it should be. He should have never lost it to begin with. And again, Braun Strowman's paper run, which of course he was champion a lot longer than I expected. But again, he was only champion because they needed him to be champion. They didn't want him to be champion. They needed him to be champion because Roman Reigns decided to take care of himself and go home. So we have that to hold up the show, even though it was a good chaotic segment. Then it led to a lumberjack match to make sure Retribution doesn't get involved again. And then we have Big E taking on Sheamus. Kind of a bland match, to be honest. I didn't really think these two really gelled too well together. The match ends after a stupid little brawl outside the ring between Matt Riddle and Baron Corbin. They go to break it up off the distraction. That Sheamus gets distracted by lumberjacks. I don't know why he got distracted. He shouldn't really care what they're inside the ring because nobody was helping him. And then Big E rolls him up, gets a standard upset victory. And of course, they keep making this big deal about Big E being a singles competitor again. Once again, as I keep saying, Big E was once a singles competitor. He even said himself, he's a former NXT champion. He's a former Intercontinental champion. Does that not matter now or something? Because they keep making it seem like that. Oh, Big E can't handle being a singles star, which I know he can. Really, I know he can, for crying out loud. He has tons of singles potential. I've always thought he did. I even still think to this day he has world champion caliber potential as well. And definitely one of the up and rising stars that grabbed my attention pretty quickly when I first started watching wrestling 7 years ago. So I have no doubts that Big E can be a single star. But that was definitely just a dumb finish with Big E and Sheamus. I thought it was kind of dumb. So, whatever. Afterwards, we have a segment backstage where Jeff Hardy is in pain as Maddox is checking on his recently surgically repaired knee. He thinks someone fell on his leg from behind, and of course he needs a brace to make his title match against AJ Styles tonight for the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, and then, okay, we have then the SmackDown Tag Title match. The Artistic Collective, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, take on Lucha House Party's Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado with Kalisto in their corner. That's the average match that I honestly did not care about. Cesaro, though, had a couple sick-looking spots, especially towards the end. with a suicide Frankenstein on the floor, and a reverse Kinshasa to a schoolboy. And also, Cesaro did this sunset flip that I thought was a really nice maneuver onto Grand Metalik to get the pinfall victory. But of course, there's two things I want to rant about. So during this match, they showed Miz and Morrison backstage watching this match. And I don't know what it is, but week by week, WWE has slowly, completely turned me off from this team. Just once again, making these dumb toilet humor jokes that I'm sure Vince McMahon wrote for them. I don't remember all they said other than Miz calling Cesaro the Swiss cheese board. I forgot what they called heavy machinery. They made fun of Lucha House Party. And then this one, I am not even joking. He called the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. Miz called Shinsuke Nakamura, I'm not even joking. Let me get my microphone close. You might want to come in a little closer and listen very carefully here, people. He called him the fartist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. The fartist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. The fartist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. I wonder who came up with that. Yeah, Vince. You continue to make a mockery out of these people. You corporate bully. You flat out freaking told Rusev that everyone's making fun of him with the Rusev Day gimmick. Also the fact the only reason why his t-shirts sold out because there wasn't enough in stock. You're having Jinder Mahal get his facial expressions made fun of by the worst heel champion could possibly ever happen in Jinder Mahal. Now you're calling Shinsuke Nakamura, having Miz calling him the fartist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. There is that. There is the blonde hair puppet with Mandy Rose. I can't believe I'm saying this. I wish Miz never turned heel again. I wish he would have stayed the babyface he was, because he had a reason to be liked. And of course they blew it by burying him the shame. Now that he's turned heel again, this is honestly, again, I miss heel Miz from 2016 to 2018. I miss that Miz. This heel Miz, he's doing the exact opposite. Instead of cutting great promos, expressing a ton of truth, he is now telling corny toilet humor jokes, such as calling Shinsuke Nakamura the fartist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. When he did that, I literally corpsed exactly how Randy Orton corpsed whenever Drew McIntyre said, "My Claymore kick is bigger," and Orton's like, "You did not just say that." And then I said this time it was like I wasn't cracking up. I was not cracking up. I was pissed. I'm like, the fartist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. What grown man says that? Again, I gotta ask this question once again. John Morrison, why did you come back? Why did you come back to be stuck in a tag team that says stupid toilet humor shit like that? The fartist known as Shinsuke Nakamura and all this other crap. That just pissed me off. Oh, and then after the match, Cesaro and Nakamura retained, and Lucha House Party just start arguing. They're teasing a breakup between them. So again, at this point, just delete the tag team division because you're breaking up even more tag teams. I mean, yeah, there's nothing that's that special about Lucha House Party, but even them as single stars is not going to be anything either. So who cares? Whatever. We had a backstage segment with AJ Styles being interviewed. as we were shown footage that he was the one who attacked Jeff Hardy during that beatdown of Retribution, attacking his recently surgically repaired knee. AJ said he was just being zealous in the fighting off Retribution. It'll be a shame if Jeff can't compete tonight, but it fits his career, which has been a waste of time. He runs into Bayley and Sasha, and they do a toast, claiming their belts together because they're heel champions and they must do so. Then we have this segment. This actually really confused me and really threw me off. I felt that this storyline tonight has been, again, built up so great, went super back and forth with this. Partially because of what happened this past week with both Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. For those of you who do not know, there was a man who apparently attempted to kidnap and, dare as I say, kill Sonya Deville, unfortunately. And apparently there was somebody else in her house with her, and that was Mandy Rose, her longtime best friend, of course, on TV, now bitter rivals. So obviously it's shaken both of these women up, especially Sonya. In real life, again, I'm pretty sure Sonya is shaken up. And of course Mandy is too, but of course Mandy being the babyface had to show a little more emotion. So they kind of brought this promo in. They kind of brought the real life story into this promo tonight, and made me think they may actually pull the plug on this Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville match. Instead, we had a different direction. That was kind of like, ooh boy, one thing, and then ooh, next the other, pretty much. So Mandy is interviewed, looking great in black, by the way, dressed up in sick hot black attire, as I always say. Again, her hair is just still long enough for me to think she's sexy. Anyways, but she mentions how it's been a rough week, and she only knows how she feels about SummerSlam, and that she needs to believe there's still good in this world after what happened. She wants to speak directly to Sonya, and says they've been through a lot of good and beautiful things together as best friends. She's choosing to believe that the woman she was inseparable from for 5 years is still out there, and the way she's feeling after what happened this week, she wants to put everything behind them and get back to where they were. Which of course makes me think, okay, maybe they might be canceling this match. Psych! I mean, it may have been a good idea too, because of what happened this week. I mean, okay, I'm not a big fan of, okay, I think, it kind of bothers me, which is not, in a way, because I think it's because how WWE should let it go, because, it's no secret that this is all, I'll say thought out. No, it's not thought out. A choreographed show. So obviously, in other TV shows, friends who are enemies on TV, people who are enemies on TV can be friends in real life. Obviously, in WWE, they try to keep it as the show and their personal lives as realistic as possible to the shows. So, them obviously revealing that Mandy and Sonya are still friends in real life, and it could have impacted the storyline. I can't really, say, it was a bad idea to do. It's not a good thing that to reveal that. I'm saying, it's just, they're still humans, just like other people, like, in other, television shows. So I'm not going to rack on that like, I did with, other things people have leaked online before. But it definitely kind of made me a little confused as to what was going on tonight. But anyway, so that was still a good segment. Then we have this segment. The Golden Rule models, Sasha and Bayley, come out. Corey Graves has a microphone. The first question he asks them, are they splitting up? And I'm like, what? Like, right now, their bond seems super tight. They're not really teasing the cracks. I thought they were when, a couple months ago when Bayley was having Sasha fighting a lot of her battles on SmackDown. That's when I thought they were teasing the cracks. Since Sasha, of course, has won the Raw Women's Championship, the cracks have not been so teased because they've done a good job supporting each other. Of course, until tonight. When he said that, I'm like, they're telegraphing. Telegraphing the hell of the fact that they want to split these two up eventually and have them feud, even though it's been God knows how long it's been since that match should have happened. I'm sorry, probably 2 years ago in 2018. That's when the match should have happened between these two. Instead, they've dragged it out, turned them both heel, and it's somewhat worked, but in some ways I still feel it's been, it could have been better. So now all of a sudden, it's like, okay, you're getting along, up, guys, like there's cracks, and it just felt forced. Naomi eventually comes out and wants to wrestle them both tonight. Corey suggests a beat the clock challenge, and then the loser basically, has to defend the belt first, whatever the heck it was. I thought that was a side on Monday. I thought they were fine with Bayley defending her title first before Sasha. They have these matches. Sasha first gets Naomi to tap out, but then Naomi beats Bayley pretty quickly, having Bayley suffer yet another loss. And then afterwards, Asuka comes out, cuts a promo, and she takes them both out. And then it looks like Bayley cares more about herself than Sasha. And if they were trying to start some cracks in this relationship, it felt super duper forced. I'm sorry. I thought if it felt just super forced. The Corey Graves just coming out there immediately and just says, first thing he says is, so, are you guys splitting up? And I'm like, why did you say that? It was forced. I didn't like that, and this just felt like a waste of time. It just felt like this wasn't a smooth transition into starting up the cracks or something like that. You know what I mean? It was just, it didn't work for me. So we have that. Let's check the live chat before we continue on. Got 15 votes on the polls. Dakota thought it was a good match. Jeff sold like a champ. He did. He gave it a B. They leaked the baby face of SmackDown, and this was before Strowman turned heel. It was him, Jeff, then Riddle. If they even are who knows what dynamic they are. Jeff is now the number one babyface on SmackDown, he claims, and Kalisto is turning heel. Who knows? I don't care about the Lucha House Party. What's up, Mark? Does Sonya have a backup plan in case she loses? We'll talk about that in a second. What's up, Tyler? I don't get why Naomi was the one to challenge both champions. Neither do I, because it makes no sense. This is the Braun Strowman we wanted all along, but I think it's too late. Yeah, again, I think, after SummerSlam, I think you should go full on and turn Braun Strowman heel. I think he needs it. And with what he's doing right now with the whole... Okay, I'll save that for my SummerSlam predictions. I don't know what's going on. Why was The Miz the last one to come out after Retribution already retreated? Either he was, again, playing it safe, or someone suggests he could be part of Retribution. Who the heck knows? But of course, it's Miz. He's a coward. SmackDown, he thought was good, gave it a B-. He heard Big E will win the top title by the end of the year. Who knows? But yeah. So, good stuff in the live chat, guys. Running out of steam. I still have one more live stream to get through after this tonight, and I don't want to be trying to squeeze it in tomorrow because I have too much to do tomorrow. Anyways, so we get that. Jeff Hardy's backstage, still getting his knee brace treated, and the trainer says he looks stable enough, so as long as he can handle the pain, he's cleared to wrestle in the IC title match. Jeff's with one leg. He's a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. He's going to be the one-legged man to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Backstage, Sonya Deville, dressed up in a woman's suit, is interviewed, but she declines to make a statement. Dana Brooke rolls up, offering some, her sympathies as to, what happened with Sonya smacked across the face and says, "It's nothing I can't handle." And she storms away. And she makes her entrance. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, yes, Sonya Deville is a heel, but this is why also I hate the fact they piped the audience, because obviously, again, the reactions in the crowd, were just bland, because they were just sitting there. So it was like this, like if I'm sitting here on it right now and just sitting like this, would you guys get bored? That's all they did. They weren't reacting to fans of the show. But they had a piped in boo for Sonya Deville. And yes, Sonya's a heel. But you could have booed her, at the end of this segment because of what she said. You booed her immediately when this is the first time we have seen her since we've given her a lot of love and support after, her near-death experience recently with that guy breaking into her house. And yet we boo her immediately when she first comes out. I didn't like that. I thought that was stupid. But this promo she cut was great. She says, cut the music. She gets it. Mandy is second guessing on her own challenge, but that's exactly what she said she was gonna happen. What she doesn't understand is exactly what is it that Mandy wants. They're gonna fight one way or the other, but she's unbothered by getting her hair cut, and everyone knows Sonya doesn't give a damn about being bald or not. So I don't know if this means that they threw out the hair versus hair stipulation, or if they're still in, but she's gonna raise the stakes. Not only is she's saying this is gonna be a no disqualification match now, but the loser leaves WWE. She realizes, hair or no hair, she is sick of looking at Mandy's face, so she better bring her A game. Bold. I like that. I mean, okay, yes, it kind of veered away from the fact that, Mandy Rose cares about, Sonya. Obviously, Sonya, the character-wise, is basically saying that, what happened doesn't faze me at all, even though in real life, I'm sure it is. It does faze her. So yeah, we're getting I think we threw out the hair versus hair stipulation. I'm not sure, because obviously Sonya made something like losing hair is not going to do anything for either one of them. So instead, let's beat the crap out of each other and cost each other your careers, which could be intriguing. I will talk about that though when we get to our to the SummerSlam predictions. If I get to do that still tonight, because I'm definitely starting to get a little bit sleepy here, people. But I want to get that SummerSlam card predictions. Preview predictions in before tomorrow, because like I said, I have just too much going on tomorrow before Takeover. Nikki Cross gets a promo about what's going on with Alexa Bliss, how she seems off with the recent encounter with The Fiend and Strowman. The Alexa she knows is warm and caring and funny, and the person she spoke to scares her because she's got a feeling that something terrible is about to happen. Probably becoming Sister Abigail. That's all I'm going to say about that. Daniel Bryan also gets an inset promo during AJ Styles' entrance, where he calls AJ a coward, and he says he hopes by the end of the night in the Thunderdome, Jeff Hardy is champion. And then we have Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. Pretty good match. I think Jeff sold his knee injury very well, I gotta say, throughout this match. Of course, AJ had good psychology attacking the bad knee, even though he had a brace on it. There were a couple spots where obviously the knee gave out, such as, of course, whenever Jeff went to the top rope for the first time, and it didn't work as his knee gave out. He collapsed, he fell from the top rope and landed. AJ almost had a botch where he slipped on the apron as well and he fell. But the finish came, of course. AJ goes for the calf crusher. Instead, Jeff goes to kick him, and the knee brace hits AJ in the side of the face. Hardy has a twist of fate. Swanton bomb. Jeff Hardy's your Intercontinental Champion. Didn't expect it, but of course probably did this because why? Because Jeff Hardy's contract is coming up, and they want to make sure Jeff resigns. But nope, he's not going to resign. I'm pretty sure he's going to go to AEW and do business with his brother Matthew Hardy. Not Matt Hardy, Matthew Hardy. So, Obviously, this is just a kiss up act for, them saying, Jeff, please don't go to AEW. Stay with us, and we'll treat you great. Yeah, they're not going to treat him great. So, Jeff's new IC champion. I think a 5 or 6 time Intercontinental champion. Works for me. He was interviewed after the match, saying he was told, if you told him a year ago he'd be IC champion again, he'd tell you were crazy. He was in such a bad place, but now he stands here with a painful knee and a hope for a better future for everyone that's in a tough spot. AJ Styles, of course, is flipping out on Piss, the phenomenal, whatever heck it is, something stat decision. Flips out on, who's also Joseph Park, flips out on him backstage. How Jeff apparently cheated, which kind of did, but even though, of course, it was a protected cheat with him kicking him with the brace in the face. So obviously, it's setting up for a match, probably at Payback. I don't think it's happening at SummerSlam, even though this is a SummerSlam caliber match. Probably happening at Payback, the IC title match between Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. So we'll see how that goes at Payback. I'm probably going to pick it up my carburetor if I get to do it. And then we had this long closing segment. Bray Wyatt comes on for the Firefly Funhouse, talk about the ThunderDome. And he can tell us something. He loves us. Don't be fooled. Fireflies, love can be a terrible thing, though. I do agree. A way to trick you into emotional and financial burden that makes the most glorious angel crash down with broken wings. Too much love, though, can turn a beautiful field of sunflowers into wasteland. He basically has like a Shakespearean act between Rambling Rabbit and Huskus the Pig, mocking the romance that people still forgot about between Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss. Again, this just made no sense thrown into the story like they did. He gets them to calm down, and he says how love only leads to pain and suffering. And all we can do is be more like him. A being built on rage and fueled by anger. And then basically he looks to the side, he goes, what took you so long? And Braun Strowman appears and he beats down on Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt. First off, he beat down on him and he's off camera. Why can't they show Bray Wyatt getting beaten down inside the funhouse on the floor? I don't get that. Go to commercial because Strowman had dragged a Fiend to drag Bray who knows where. They brawled until Braun chokeslammed off the top of a dock onto hard concrete. Paramedics go to take him away, but instead he transforms to the Fiend. Like, oh my goodness, it's so crazy. He's like, I could tell it's happening a mile away. And that's how it went off the air. We had some stuff I enjoyed. The promos with Mandy and Sonya, even though they kind of confused me a little bit, were good. Again, I wish they would have had the Fiend take out Vince, which would have been awesome, but unfortunately it did not happen. Jeff Hardy and AJ's match, that was pretty good. What else was... other than that, nothing else I really enjoyed too much. Again, I'll give, the set pretty good. But again, I was super back and forth with the grade to give for this. I'm not sure what grade, so let me check the live channel and think about the grade. I'm shocked Jeff actually pulled it off, even though he did it with one leg. Mark's giving SmackDown a B. AJ got Raw before another Big Four pay-per-view again. We got Alex Munoz saying, Renee's leaving, so Dean Ambrose can come back. What, for real? I don't know. And Matt left Jeff Hardy. Would you be happy if Punk is behind Retribution? Again, Dakota, you know my thoughts on CM Punk. I don't think he's coming back to the ring, and I'm not going to believe it unless I see it. That's all I'm going to say with that. I had the perfect story. There are two leaders of Retribution, Punk and AJ Lee. Again, it would work, but like I said, it's one of the things where I got to actually see it to believe it. Yes, he came back to WWE Backstage, but once again, it was owned by Fox, not by WWE. Again, I really don't... I seriously don't think CM Punk's coming back. Again, I'm not going to believe it until I see it, Dakota. Jeff is a 5-time, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6-time Intercontinental Champion, but we'll see. So probably getting the rematch of that Payback. I don't think we're getting that at SummerSlam. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. I'll still try to do my SummerSlam predictions tonight. Can't promise anything. I'm still in between on my grade to give to this. I don't know. I still thought it was a little bit of like an inconsistent show. I was leaning towards a C-. A lot of you guys seem to enjoy it. Oh, we'll check the polls on Twitter. 15 votes, 40% said A, 46.7% said B, 6.7% said C, 6.7% said D or lower. Trying to think, which grade should I give this? Most of the stuff was what it was. I'll give it a C. I thought it was an inconsistent show. I mean, I liked the set. The atmosphere was somewhat there, but once again, it was a piped-in crowd. So I'll give it an inconsistent C. That's all it gives the episode of SmackDown, a C. So what are your thoughts on SmackDown, guys? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBonnie3. Again, maybe I'll take a shower or something like that just to get a second wind real quick, but I'm starting to get a little bit sleepy. And again, I do have, I really want to get the SummerSlam preview predictions in tonight because again, I'm being occupied for most of the day tomorrow before Takeover. So I think I want to try to get that in tonight the best I can. So we'll see. If not, then I guess I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Depends how tired I am after my shower. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going to check out, guys. So if I don't come back up tonight, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, so once again, guys, C for SmackDown for me. What are your thoughts again? Slap like on the video, subscribe or comment on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBonnie3. I'm checking out, guys. Either see you soon or I'll see you tomorrow. Either see you soon, have a great night. Time to twist myself around. Peace out, everybody. Yeah, no one will surprise. There's no